In February, the Plan Commission and Village Board considered and approved a Fifth Amendment to the Village's Tax Increment District Number 2, or TID 2. The amendment placed additional parcels into the TID 2 boundaries, revised project expenses to complete infrastructure improvements, provided financial incentives for the development of industry, and provided funds for the acquisition of properties or easements required for public improvements. The amendment addresses land along I-94 and infrastructure improvements near the site of the future Village Center along 39th Avenue. The amendment will now be considered by a joint review board comprised of members of the related taxing entities. TID 2 is scheduled to retire in 2023 or sooner. In an effort to prevent accidental poisonings, prescription drug abuse, and pollution of our local waterways, Kenosha County offers permanent medication collection sites. At the sites shown on your screen, you can dispose of unused, unwanted, and expired medications in a safe and environmentally sound manner, free of charge. Medication should be kept in its original container with its name visible. Cross off any personal information on the container and dispose of it directly into the medication drop box. Acceptable items include prescriptions, ointments, over-the-counter medicines, creams, and pet medicines. Items not accepted include liquids like cough syrup, injectables, intravenous solutions, illegal drugs, biohazardous materials, needles, sharps, and syringes. In January, plans were approved for Regal Limousine and Forward Transport to operate a dispatching office from the Truesdale Plaza located at 8531 75th Street. The businesses will relocate to the Truesdale Plaza from an existing location on Sheridan Road. Regal Limousine is a local limousine service that has operated in Kenosha County since 1987. Forward Transport is a medical transport company that provides non-emergency transportation to and from medical appointments based on state contracts. Depending on business volume, the companies plan to employ approximately 6 full-time and 4 part-time positions. In 2012, a BP Amoco station located at 10477 120th Avenue was ordered to stop an ongoing illicit discharge of petroleum products into a drainage ditch adjacent to the property. Station owners were also ordered to develop and implement a plan to treat the contaminated discharge. Owners have since installed special equipment at the site to capture and treat contaminated groundwater and had formed a plan to address monitoring and remediation needs on an ongoing basis. As a result, in May of 2013, the Plan Commission conditionally approved a conditional use permit for the station. In December, owners requested an amendment to the permit and related agreement. In January and February, the Plan Commission and Village Board considered and approved the owners' requests to decrease the frequency of required testing from weekly to monthly, provided no violations are present, and to specify the type of testing for lead as total lead only. Owners also agreed to install additional equipment to further filter lead from the contaminated groundwater prior to its release, and to provide a more detailed action plan for monitoring and remediation of soils on adjacent properties that may also have been contaminated. On February 3rd, the Village Board approved the 2014 budget for Pleasant Prairie's water utility. The budget, as approved, will require no increase in water rates during 2014. The utility will continue to perform maintenance and updates to the system in efforts to keep it operating safely and as cost-effectively as possible. To learn more about the work the utility completed in 2013 and plans for 2014, please see the February issue of your Village newsletter or visit pleasantprairieonline.com. On February 3rd, the Village Board also approved the 2014 budget for the sewer utility. The budget, as approved, will require no increase in sewer rates during 2014. The utility will continue to work to reduce the amount of inflow and infiltration that leaks into the sewer system in efforts to further lower wastewater treatment costs. To learn more about the work the utility completed in 2013 and plans for 2014, please see the February issue of your Village newsletter or visit pleasantprairieonline.com. During a February Village Board meeting, Director of Public Works John Steinbrink Jr. provided an update related to winter snowplowing operations. Over the past 5 years, the Village has used an average of 2,500 tons of salt over the course of the winter weather season. This season, during the months of December and January alone, The village has used 3,800 tons of salt. Steinbrink explained, so far this season, we've used about 1.5 winters worth of salt, fuel, labor, and expenses. Expenses being things like tires, mechanical work, and plow blades. Assuming an average February usage of 1,200 tons of salt, Steinbrink further explained, this season we're looking at using just over 2 times what we would normally use. The village keeps 2 years' worth of salt stored in a barn at the village compost site and contracts with the state of Wisconsin for storage of an additional 1 year's worth of salt. Steinbrink indicated confidence that there will be enough salt and related supplies available to make it through the current winter season. This coming spring, however, once total salt usage is known, staff will likely need to approach the village board to ask for an early purchase of salt. This would replenish supplies and ensure that the department is prepared to handle snow prior to the start of the 2015 budget year. During an emergency, time is a critical factor in protecting life and property. During winter weather months, snow and ice create an additional challenge for emergency personnel responding to calls for help. You as a resident are in a position to make a difference and to help protect your family and neighbors. By regularly clearing snow away from fire hydrants, driveways, and walkways, you are helping to save valuable time in the event of an emergency. If you notice that a neighbor is unable to clear snow from their drive and walkway or from hydrants on their property, please consider lending a hand. Pleasant Prairie Fire and Rescue thanks you for your help in making your neighborhood a safer place. In February, the village board presented recently retired street foreman Gary Sullivan with a resolution of appreciation and recognition. Sullivan, who worked for the village for 20 years, was recognized for his expertise and devotion to duty, in addition to the valuable effect he had on the efficiency and morale of his staff. Public Works Director John Steinbrink Jr. explained, "This time of year in Pleasant Prairie, we're known for keeping our roads clear when snow falls. What many people may not know is that for years, Gary has played a key role in making this happen. Day or night, when snow started to fall, Gary would watch the conditions, drive the roads, and make the call to start plowing operations. He'd be there making sure all of the bases were covered." The village has selected Joe Middleton as the next street foreman in Pleasant Prairie. To learn more, please see the February issue of your village newsletter. Damage from digging is the most common cause of underground natural gas leaks. Knowing where buried natural gas lines are located before beginning a digging project is the best way to avoid being injured and disrupting utility service in your neighborhood. Telephone numbers for Diggers Hotline and We Energy's natural gas leak and emergency line are included in the February issue of your village newsletter. During the winter season, the village would like to remind those who enjoy snowmobiling to please practice safe and courteous snowmobile behavior. Please stay on marked trails, respect landowners, comply with all regulatory signs located along snowmobile routes, and enter private property only with the consent of the owner or lessee. Please remember that between 10:30 p.m. and 7 o'clock a.m., you should travel no faster than 10 miles per hour when within 150 feet of a dwelling. If you need to contact the village with a complaint about snowmobiles, please call 694-7353 and attempt to provide a license plate number to assist staff in addressing the matter. To learn more about the Jambo Trail, a historic early Indian trail that runs through the Momper Farm near Green Bay Road in Pleasant Prairie, see the Historical Society article in the February issue of your village newsletter, or visit pleasantprairieonline.com. Fix a Leak Week is celebrated in March of each year to remind Americans to check their household fixtures and irrigation systems for leaks. Fix a Leak Week will take place between March 17th and 23rd. See your February Village newsletter or visit pleasantprairieonline.com for tips on locating and correcting leaks at your home.